Plans for renovating Winona's Levee Park will move forward, but without an option for a removable floodgate at the foot of Main Street. On a series of votes, the Winona City Council approved multiple recommendations regarding the park improvement proposal, including the allocation of up to $6,000 for a planning workshop for the design and development phase of the project. Prior to the regular meeting, the council heard an hour-long presentation by the Levee Park Redesign Committee, which explained each of the 8 recommendations. Those recommendations included removal of the fence between the park and railroad tracks, beautify the area in and around the tracks, improve and widen the pedestrian walkway at the foot of Main Street, research signing options to direct visitors to the downtown and the park, engage a group to study funding strategies for a statue of John Latch, study the effect of closing Cal Fremling Parkway to traffic, work with the Main Street program on streetscape improvements downtown, and review the area surrounding the city water plant for potential aesthetic improvements. All projects would come before the council for final approval before the design study. Councilmember Michelle Alexander expressed concerns about moving ahead with the recommendations prior to the completion of a design and development study and suggested tabling action on all the items.
This is a huge project that's going to affect the entire community for a generation to come, and I want more time. And I don't feel like I have enough. And that's the thing I'm hearing from community too. Not only the Cal Fremling and the hole in the levee as it's described to me, but that one meeting that not everyone could get to wasn't enough time for them to understand what we're trying to do. And I understand these will come back to us, but it seems to me that until we know what our funding sources are and what things cost, it's premature to remove fences and do some of these things until we have funding.
Councilmember Pam Iden, who represented council on the redesign committee, disagreed, saying the items were small projects that could be done to give the overall project some momentum.
I think a lot of them are study items, so engaging a group to study the location, study the effects, that's all part of what can be done right away, and we can get right on that. And I think it's important to just move ahead with these items.
Council moved to approve the study list on a 4-2 vote, with Alexander and Councilmember George Borzakowski casting the nay votes. A vote to allocate funds for the planning workshop was approved unanimously. Prior to the vote, City of Winona Community Services Director Chad Ubel reviewed exactly what the study would cover.
The workshop, will provide a logical path for implementation based on other successful riverfront projects. It will also provide a sound strategy for public-private partnerships, capacity building, and funding strategies and alternatives. The plan also then will provide a clear roadmap of objectives for a city advisory committee to implement over time. And then, based on your previous action, what we would garner from this workshop are cost estimates related to the feasibility study of elevation changes within Levee Park and the feasibility of Cal Fremling Parkway, or as we noted within the vision plan, the river shelf.
Council will be taking part in the planning workshop, something Levee Park Redesign Committee Chair Frank Pomeroy says is a good idea.
I'm glad that they approved the money for the workshop. I'm glad that they want to be a part of the workshop, because I think that one-day session will really give them what is the next step, and that is, you've got a lot of information, how do you implement it, and how do you make that a viable park? And I think they need to be a part of that, and I'm glad they're going to be. Because I think that makes it easier for everyone involved to put their ideas together and find out what really is, what really can be implemented in the park over time, and what that time frame should be.
City staff will work to set up the planning workshop as soon as possible. The redesign committee hopes to have a final list of park improvements approved by the council in time to be included in the 2015 City of Winona budget.